Worcester Cares, and this past weekend you certainly proved it. What an incredible outpouring of manpower and people. And today on the Hank Stolz Experience, what we're going to be doing is we have many of the corporate sponsors who gave so generously and really put Worcester Cares over the top. They're going to be coming. We're going to be talking with them. We also have Lisa Peeler with us to kick things off and to talk about what the Red Cross is going to do with the $250,000 plus that you all so generously gave this past weekend. Lisa, thanks for stopping by.
Well, thank you, Hank. We really appreciate all that you did and have done and continue to do.
Oh, well, my part is fun. I mean, I just get to talk to you and to all the great people who are going to be coming on. But these corporate sponsors really did come forward. Worcester Cares, we talked about this last week. Worcester City Manager Mike O'Brien putting this together, and really everybody in the Worcester area responded, including many of the businesses that we're going to be talking to.
They did. Hank, it was just unbelievable. The city manager called a press conference. Nicole Valentine, my director of public affairs, who's, just fabulous, told me, Lisa, city manager is calling a press conference. We're going to have this event this weekend, Worcester Cares. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm free this weekend. Sounds good. Little did I know what this really meant.
What he really did have planned.
Press conference, all the counselors were there, corporate sponsors showed up, and this is with short notice. They came and pledged and contributed unbelievable amounts of financial resources to help our tornado clients.
And that's the great thing about it. Now, this $250,000 is staying right here in our community. It is going to those tornado victims of June 1st. $250,000. It sounds like so much money. Is it enough? I mean, where does all of that money go when it goes to the American Red Cross?
Well, it's a very expensive disaster relief operation, as you can imagine, covering central and western Mass to the likes that we haven't seen in, well, since 1953, the past tornado. We always talk about how lucky we are in the Northeast. We have some ice storms like the one in 2008 and some snow and flooding, but this was a major national disaster, and it's going to have a big price tag as we help all of the clients. We've already provided over 5,000 shelter stays. Wow. We still have a shelter open, providing 3 meals a day for folks, helping with their recovery and long-term assistance. So we're there till people are back on their feet.
And that is part of it. I mean, this is ongoing. And part of it is, as you say, you still have at least one shelter still open up, and you're still providing meals, people still utilizing that shelter. But as far as some of the ongoing, there's going to have to be support for people who need to find new homes. Their homes are gone. And also now, as the realization starts to set in of the magnitude of what has happened, there's going to be people who need some counseling.
Absolutely. And the Red Cross does provide counseling to people. We had a large fire too just last week in Fitchburg.
That's right.
44 units, over 60 people. We're helping with the home fire that just about every 3 days we respond to a home fire. Yeah. So we're helping those clients too, and all those people need help with coping with their disaster, whether it be the home fire or this large-scale tornado.
Exactly. Just because the tornado came doesn't mean that all of these other disasters and the things that you respond to have somehow magically stopped. You have to respond to all of those as well.
Which we wish, wouldn't we?
Yeah, exactly. And right. Of course, it spreads you a little bit thin. So the $250,000 now that was collected, and it was great just to, I mean, I think people really enjoy, I don't know if enjoyed is the right word, but they really did have big smiles on their faces because they wanted to help, and here was a way for them to be able to do it. And I know that they're going to be excited about where that money is going right now. $250,000 you'd already, of course, spent, so much money on some of the things that you talked about, but this will go on to help fund things over the next several months as well.
Well, yes, it will. It'll be a long-term recovery program. We're helping with cleanup kits, with food, shelter, clothing. Some people have lost absolutely everything. Yeah. And I was going around to some of the drop-off spots like the one you were at, Hank, and you're right. People would just give pennies or $100 bills, and they did it with a smile on their face. Worcester really came out and showed they really do care.
They sure did. We're going to be hearing from a lot of people who gave a lot of money because Worcester does care. You talk about those pennies, though. I know that every drop-off site has a story like this. We're going to hear from big companies that gave thousands of dollars and really helped $160,000, I believe, just given by the corporations alone, just in Worcester. Commerce Bank, where I was, big check for $5,000. But I think what we will probably remember are, you know, the people who did come in and literally brought pennies. We had one girl who came in, and I mean, it was the pennies, it was the dimes, it was the nickels, it was some crumpled up dollar bills. It was like, you know, this one kind of ratty 5 on top. And, you know, she had obviously been saving that for what? For vacation or something else, but felt the need to come down during Worcester Cares and give that money and make sure that it went to a great cause.
Well, we've had schools try to fill their gym floor with pennies. You know, that's harder to pick that up, I'll tell you. But Hank, I do want to give a thanks also, in addition to our sponsors, to the public, to the city and everyone that helped put this together, to our Red Cross disaster volunteers. They are the heart and soul. They are the folks that went out and went door to door to help clients and are still doing that. The people that stayed in the shelter, providing the meals. Without our disaster-trained volunteers, we couldn't do what, the Red Cross couldn't do what we do. And it's interesting, I was just talking to a client yesterday, and she wants to know how she can work for the Red Cross or volunteer for the Red Cross because she has been helped and wants to pay it forward.
Isn't that great? Lisa,
Yes.
thanks for coming by.
Hank, thank you so much.
And thanks again to all of you for coming out and making Worcester Cares such a success.